Life shouldn't be hard. Life should be a fun-filled adventure every day. So now start joining up dots. Tap into your talents, your skills, your God-given gifts, and tell your boss, you don't deserve me. I'm out of here. It's time for you to smash that alarm clock and start getting the dream business and life you, well, of course, are dreaming of. Let's join your host, David Ralph, from the back of his garden in the UK, or wherever he might be today, with another jammed-packed episode of the #1 hit podcast, Join Up Dots.
Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning to you, and welcome to Join Up Dots. Now, when you start a business, we're cut straight to the chase. When you start a business, one of the things that people are doing, they're starting a business and they're wanting to create income streams in a whatever niche that you choose to make their lives better, to bring more income into their lives and stuff. And I think most of the time people are missing a big trick, and they are creating a business, but they haven't spent the time developing the skills. They haven't spent the time planning. They haven't spent the time looking at market research and all that kind of stuff. And what we're going to do today, we're going to dive into a topic that it's really close to my heart, and it's crucial for anyone out there looking to make a real impact in their field. Okay. Now, as I say, why is it so important to develop whatever skills you need? Well, there's going to be people out there without those skills. There's going to be people out there that need you to help them better their situation. It could be pay-per-click. It could be online marketing. It could be health. It could be whatever. People are genuinely buying something to change their lives, either to something more pleasant or something away from pain. Now, you can argue if you move away from pain, you're moving into something more pleasant. But if you start in an equal level, then going towards pleasure, it's like Join Up Dots, for example, right? We do extremely well financially compared to most other podcasts out there through Join Up Dots. And one of the things we don't ram it home all the time, that we're selling this, we're selling that, and we're doing this and we're doing that. What we like to do is try to build up relationships with people until they're ready to actually utilize our help and our coaching or whatever. Because the majority of people out there at one stage will be listening to this going, oh yeah, that's what I want. But they don't really want it. They don't really want to quit their job. They don't really want to start building their own income streams. They don't. It's just a kind of want. It's a middle ground basis. Okay. Now, I didn't realize that at the beginning. And if I'd realized that and spent a little bit more time developing the skills, I would have worked out 3 steps behind that to where they really need it. It wouldn't be the people sitting there with their iPods on, in a job, having a nice cozy life, having a meal in the evening, and then just slightly wishing that they could have a different life. It would be the people that are actually in a bad situation that need to change. So I would have spent more time developing the skills that the people who really, really needed me at that time needed to start looking for me. Understanding your customer, understanding them, and creating everything based around your ideal avatar. You know, you think about it. When you become the go-to person in your area of expertise, then you're no longer just another name in the crowd. You become a category of one. And becoming a category of one, or in a really tight niche, it means that you start standing out in such a unique way that there's simply no comparison. For example, if you think about this podcast, Join Up Dots, and I said this to a guy the other day, I said to him, what's the difference between me and 95% of the podcasters out there? Now, we all do pretty much the same content. We might do it in different ways. We do half hour, whatever, you know. The podcast isn't any different. It's not the content. It's not the guests. It's not the production quality. The difference between me and 95% of the podcasters out there, it's the fact that Join Up Dots is still going strong after 10 years and is growing. It's that consistency that brings me opportunities that others are missing out on. When people start and they stop, they never get the results. When they start and they expect to get results quickly, then they're never going to get the results. Okay, I'm going to share a little secret with you. Many people start their journey with all the enthusiasm in the world. Absolutely, they are ready to go, but they expect instant results. They scrabble around. They try to make something happen. They look at it after just 6 weeks of spending every evening doing it, and they think to themselves, oh, it should be further ahead by this time. And I know it's true because I did the same thing when I started. But here's the reality. When you first start, you don't deserve the results you want. You're desperate for them, or you should be if you're starting it at the right time, but you haven't done the work yet. You haven't developed your skills. You don't understand the market. You don't understand how things work. It's like planting a tree. You can't plant a seed today and expect a fully grown tree tomorrow. It takes time. You need to water it. You need to nurture it. You need to give it the right conditions to grow, and the same goes for your skills and your career. You need to put in the work consistently, even when you don't see immediate results, and people are not willing to do this. Now, how do we make this easier though? How do we speed forward to get the results? Now, you should already know this by what I've already mentioned here, okay? The key aspect for it, and this is what people do wrong, is not keeping a super tight niche. They go generic, they go broad, and they're fighting a competition base that is never going to be won. But what you need to do, you need to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And it doesn't matter if there's only 1,000 customers. If there's 1,000 customers across the world, you will make 6 figures plus per year, and you will just service them totally. If you want to create, and we use this as a definition in other podcasts, if you want to create a bespoke blanket business for sausage dogs, look out there. Hardly anyone's doing that. And so people that want to make their dogs look specific and sexy and have their names on it and stuff, they'll come to you, and you will have a very tight audience. What they say is go an inch wide and a mile deep. And there's so much truth in that. It's so much truth. You don't want to just focus in on football or soccer. You want to focus in on a team in that, and then you want to focus in on a player, and then you want to focus and go deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, let me share a personal story, right? When I started this podcast many years ago, I was exactly like every one of you. I was in a job. I was full of excitement and dread, and I was certainly unsure where it would lead. And I remember the early days recording episodes in the Join Up Dots headquarters. And certainly the first episode, I was redoing it. It's about the only episode that I've redone. I just talk and I record and I put it out there. But the very first episode, 0.5, probably took me about 6 goes. And sometimes I was redoing it because I wasn't satisfied with the outcome. I wanted it to be better. I wanted it to be the best podcast at 0.5. And that was crap. That's stupid to think about. It was tough. And as I was progressing through, there were moments when I questioned whether it was worth it. But I kept going, and I kept refining my approach, and I kept learning from each episode, and I kept consistent. I kept going 7 days a week until you, the audience of Join Up Dots, asked for it less, and then I went 3 days a week. And I could easily go 7 days a week now, but I don't. I keep it to 3 days, which is enough, I think. But yeah, I could go twice a day every day, because there's so much information coming to me that leads me to podcast ideas. There's no possibility of me drying up. And that's because being consistent, opportunities begin to flow. Collaborations with other leaders, sponsorship deals. And one of the things I don't like to do, I don't like to put sponsorship on the podcast. You might hear that. I don't go, oh, do you know, it's funny. Every day I feel like I need this water bottle. I see that and I think, oh, that's a load of rubbish. I nearly swore it. But that's what you see all the time. I don't like to put sponsorship in that. I like to make the podcast a standalone thing, and I like to make all the income on it behind the scenes. But none of this happened overnight. It was the result of years of persistent effort, staying true to myself, staying true to my niche, and hopefully constantly improving behind the scenes. So here's my advice to you all. If you want to start on something, keep on doing the work behind the scenes that others don't see. Those late nights, those early mornings, those countless hours of practice, because they all matter. They may not be bringing in the results in that you want, but they are building the foundation for your success. And when you stay consistent and you keep on going and you tighten your niche and you drill down, the opportunities will come. You've become that category of one that I talk about. They may not come when you want them to, but they will come when you've earned them. I think that's the key thing. Once you've got to that point where you're a thing, Join Up Dots podcast, it's a thing. I sometimes go off to other podcasters and I say, hello there, you won't know me. And they all come back and go, of course we know you. And I kind of think, oh, okay, that's interesting. But it's because I've been going for 10 years. Think about any successful person you admire. They didn't achieve greatness by just dabbling here and there. They didn't get the greatness by giving up at the first sign of difficulty. They became a category of one through relentless dedication, continuous learning, and unwavering belief in their vision. And whether it's an artist, an entrepreneur, or an athlete, the story's always the same. It's the hard work, it's the consistency, it's the perseverance. If you want to win an Olympic medal, you've got to work at it. You've got to be getting up early mornings and doing training and stuff on Christmas Day when nobody else is looking. It's that work behind the scenes. And I can't emphasize enough, if you want to have a life that is under your terms, you've got to do the work when nobody else is rewarding you. You've got to, and you've got to just want to get better and better and better. Personally, you want to become the best you can possibly be. I make a multiple six-figure income through Join Up Dots and through other stuff, and none of it came in the first year, really. Most of it came in about the third year. So I spent about 3 years really working on stuff and getting a few scraps here and there. And it was difficult. Now I can go back and I can look at something. I can see that there's a market. I can just put things into place very quickly, which I will be doing moving forward. You'll see a lot more businesses come through Join Up Dots as the kind of Join Up Dots empire away from the podcast grows. But I want you to take a moment and just reflect on whatever part of the journey you're on and ask yourself, are you putting in the work consistently? Have you decided on your niche? Are you honing your skills in there? If the answer is yes, then keep going. You're on the right path. But if the answer is no, a bit here, a bit, that's okay. But if you want it, now's the perfect time to recommit to your goals and start building that foundation. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a journey. And every step you take, every dot you connect, it brings you closer to becoming that category of one. So keep showing up, keep doing the work. Don't get despondent when things aren't happening. Just become as good as you possibly can and the opportunities will flow your way. Promise you. So for anybody out there that is in that thing where they're starting something and they're working on something and they're thinking that they're not getting the results, then drop us a line. We will look at your business and we will tell you what you're doing wrong, and we will tell you where you should be focusing your skills in. Because it's what we do at Join Up Dots. We connect the dots, and by connecting the dots, you might find a little encouragement. So stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep joining those dots. And until next time, we'll see ya. Cheers. See. Oh, and by the way, I don't normally say this, but don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review, because just that little thing, that feedback helps us reach more people, and it continues helping us bring you valuable content. So it's really, really important. Until next time, we'll see you again. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye.
That's the end of Join Up Dots. You've heard the conversation. Now it's time for you to start taking massive action. Create your future, create your life. It's the only life you've got. And we'll be back again real soon. Join up dots, join up dots, join up dots, join up dots.